Zinaida had been living alone on the outskirts of town for a long time, ever since her husband died. She rarely had guests, but she received letters. She was getting old and was afraid to live alone, so she decided to rent 2 rooms far from her house. So she went to town and put up ads. Sometime later, no one had shown up yet, but one afternoon she felt a knock on the window. Zinaida looked out, and on the threshold of the courtyard stood a thin girl next to a dog. "What do you want?" asked Zinaida without opening the windows. "You're renting a room. Here's an advertisement," informed the girl and held out the sheet of paper that Zinaida had posted in the village a few months ago. "Did I understand the address correctly?" asked the embarrassed girl. "Yes, I do rent. Come tomorrow and I'll show you, but I won't let the dog stay." The girl interrupted. "Jurek has nowhere to go, and it's already dark. He can stay in the yard." Zinaida lost her sternness. In her soul, she was kind and affectionate, but she still felt distrustful. The girl noticed that the old woman hesitated and immediately said, "Don't worry, I will pay 2 months in advance. I have money," and began to reach into her purse. Realizing this, the old woman interrupted her, saying, "Okay, there's no need to show it, I believe you, but keep an eye on the dog in the yard. Don't leave anything here that will make a mess." "Can he stay outside on the porch?" the girl pleaded. "We've been standing all day and haven't eaten anything. Please let him sit on the porch," she asked politely, and Zinaida agreed. The girl was no more than 5 feet tall and looked like she was 17 years old. The dog was old and seemed to be in bad shape. When all was said and done, the girl insisted on paying 2 months in advance. "As promised, please don't turn us away. To be honest, I don't care where I live, as long as it's next to Jurek," she explained tearfully while patting the dog on the head. "If there's a ruined barn, maybe Jurek will live in it," she explained to him. The old woman interrupted her, saying, "What's your name? I'm Zinaida Garcia. And you?" "I'm Sophia," she replied. "Well, let's drink tea. You're shaking like a leaf. How old are you?" asked Zinaida. "I'm 23. I recently graduated from a technical school and found a job. From the first paycheck, I'm going to rent an independent house," she explained. Zinaida nodded approvingly. "You talk and sound like a schoolgirl. How did this dog end up with you?" she asked her. Sophia smiled sadly and told her the story. She grew up in a family of drunks. When she was a little girl, she saw that something was wrong with her family. She realized that vodka was to blame. Their house was always dirty, there was nothing to eat, and that didn't matter to her parents. That's why she didn't grow up and looked like a teenager. Since childhood, Sophia was bullied at school. She was picked on in every possible way with nicknames. She found Jurek in the rain on the way home and would not let her parents send him away. When her parents drank, they went to a spacious cabin that had straw on the floor and stayed there for up to 3 days. They spent many hours there sleeping in each other's arms. I would share food with him because my parents often forgot to feed both of us. We took turns getting food. Sometimes Jurek would steal some from the neighbors and give me half. Then it was my turn," the girl explained. "I set myself the task of getting out of this vicious circle. I went to different circles and went back to school. Then I enrolled in technical school. But I had to drive every day to the city. In a back room, they gave me shelter, but I refused because they didn't accept dogs. I couldn't leave him alone. I finally graduated, but I couldn't rent an apartment in the city. Besides, they won't let me have a dog. I can't be without him, and he can't be without me," she concluded. Zinaida heard Sophia's confession, got up quietly, and left the cabin, then went in with Jurek and said, "I'll let him live with you in the bedroom, but don't ask questions." Quickly, the first 2 months of rent were over. Zinaida felt like she had a family again. She refused to accept Sophia's money for lodging and told her, "You can live here as long as you want. We are a family now." Thank you for watching our video. Until next time.